Hey guys, I'm Carlos from Inciarte 4x4
And I'm Asia Samson with Baptism Overland, and these are the top 10 questions
that we get asked
as a
as a
content
content
creator.
creators.
So, how do you choose the companies that you work with?
From my opinion, I will say most of the companies that I choose is because I already know a little bit of the background of the company, and I'm focused on try to find the top of the line of the on the market. That way, I'm confident of that company will be have a high end products and. But most of the time, I also try to do a little bit background of the company, what their the products are, and sometimes I use test it with a friend, and I say, man, I want to do or I want to have it, or I want to do a review of this product because I know there will be a good product to have, even me or any of my follower in the community.
I choose the companies based off of their reputation. Yeah, I when I try to work with a company, I don't want I want to work with companies that I know have been around, that people love, that have been very popular, things like that. I don't want to. There's a lot of companies out there that I get emailed every day with random stuff, and I know that it's probably going to be crap, and I probably know it's going to break, or I've never heard of this company before, and I don't really care for that. When I work with companies, I want to build relationships, and some of these one-off companies, they hit me up, and I'm never going to talk to them again after that one review. The main companies that I work with, companies like Midland and companies like Onyx Offroad and companies like now, with Nomadist, these are companies I have relationships with, that, we text each other on a day-to-day basis, or, email each other on a day-to-day basis, and we build that kind of relationship. I think that is the most important, not just getting free stuff, but getting like an actual relationship with a company, and building that kind of trust, so that we can basically push one another in creating the best content possible. And how did you get into social media content creating?
What's funny because I love do photos, I love do videos. I'm not that type of shy person. I like to go excited and start recording and everything. And I remember when I was back in the days, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when I started going straight in the content creator area. I was in Tennessee with a group of friends, and every time I try to hold for a second, I try to stay on the side to start to do videos about what I'm using, even if I don't have a sponsor for that product. I remember when I started to do that, and being a content creator, and now this is what I do.
I've always loved media. I've always loved creating. I mean, I went to school for creating. I went to school for video and photography. And originally, I was more photography and video guy, just kind of creating cool stuff when I was younger. And then now, as I grew older, and YouTube came out and Instagram came out, and then now we do overlanding, and I'm able to merge the two things that I love doing, rigging up the Jeep and doing mods, but also reviewing. And then you mix that into my love of filmmaking and love of photography, and I'm able to go to really cool places and take some awesome photos and videos. That's just, I mean, it's a natural marriage between the two. What advice would you give to someone who just started doing content creating?
I get this question, I get it a lot because some friends they ask me always, and I will say, start pushing the content, start being consistency on your videos, like your weekly videos. I don't want to say daily because will be depend what you do for a living, but I try to always be there. And even if you are not sponsored with a company for a product, you need to start doing that. That way you can practice. That way companies can see how your potential doing this video. That's why when you start becoming a content creator, and you're gonna start to see yourself doing this, and how you can become more professional being a content creator. Any advice for someone who just start on content creator?
I would say just create with what you have, right? Like you can create with anything. And I look, when I was younger, I had a toy camera. It was a Polaroid toy camera, and even then, I was already trying to take really cool photos, as best as I could. I mean, they didn't look good, but I was creating, right? And it's all about just think about how you can create, how you can produce something with what you have. That's the key. Because you can have the best gear in the world, you can have all the most expensive gear in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, or if you don't have creativity inside of you, then it's nothing. You're just not going to be soul behind what you create, right? Um, but if you have creativity first, and you think about how you can shed light on something in a different way than everybody else is doing, then that, right, doesn't matter what gear you have at that point. It's gonna look awesome, right? The fact that they can make like movies out of the iPhone, right? The fact that they can do so much with so little, I think that's the key, and that's the best sometimes, right? Like you don't always need all the high end gear. Realistically, can you make a living out of this?
I will say a straight yes, because it will depend how much effort you put in something. But if you have a primary job and you get 8 hours of that job, you will not expect to give a 30 minutes or 10 minutes in a day to be living off that. I will say you have to push more on that, and every free time that you have, try to put in here on the content creator. Every free weekend, on my opinion, I go out, I try to make videos, and then I will say now you're gonna start get companies, contracts, paying for your videos, or even you get product for free, making money from the platform. And when you mix all that, you will have the enough amount of money to pay for, I will say, your bills, or live comfortable. If you want to go beyond that, you will need to put a lot of effort and your time, because like I say, if you have a full-time job for 8 hours a day, try to think as a content creator, you have to push all that time of daily time to being successful on a content creator. And that's why I say a straight yes, and that you can make enough money to pay everything to be a content creator and even go out and on your trips.
I am trying to make a living out of this. However, that's not, it's getting there, but it's not going to be instant. Right? You're not going to start a channel today and then by 3 weeks from now, you're making a living out of it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of grind. It's a lot of constant, basically posting. And in the early years, I didn't have sponsors. I had to buy all these things myself and put it on the rig until I was good enough to be noticed by companies who would, will pay me to create content for them. And on top of that, like there's ad revenues on YouTube, but that's very minimal. Like you literally have to get millions and millions of views just to even get enough every month to pay bills with, right? So it's a, you can make it into a living at some point, but just know that it's not a get rich quick scheme. You hear about content creators all the time who are like, man, they're living their best life. Like they get to fly all this and fly all that. It took years. It takes years, and especially in the industry that we're in, overlanding, it's a very niche market, right? So until that really fully explodes, you're gonna, it's gonna take a while for you to get to the point where you have enough clients, enough companies, enough ad revenue, put all that together in order for you to make your monthly, like to be able to pay your bills or even buy a house at some point or whatever it is. What's really cool though is, what I will say though is, don't put all your money into one basket, right? Like don't just rely on just ads to pay for it, pay your bills. It's not going to happen, right? You have to diversify income streams, right? Whether that's affiliate links, whether that's ambassadorships, whether that is with the ads, and whether that is paid content or companies hitting you up to create content for them that they put on their website and it doesn't even go in your socials. All these different avenues where you're getting income, and hopefully together that is enough for you to make a living with. What gear do you use to make your videos, and do you need all that gear?
When I will go what I own right now, I have a Sony camera, I have my GoPro, and I have a drone. I have the Mini Pro, and I have the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and all that gear I try to. I have the DJI mic 2, the version 2 of DJI, and I try to get a good gear with a good brands. That way, you're gonna have it's less effort when you need to edit those videos, try to get a clear audio, try to color those videos, get the raw pictures and everything. If you have a high quality or a high end gear, you will get way easy to edit those videos. Like I say, I have my GoPro. It's a 12 black GoPro. I have with the media kit, and I have the Sony camera. And but I'm talking like I'm going straight with. If you need that, I will say no. You can even start doing content with your iPhone, or your phone, because remember, probably you read this a lot on the website. So advice for any other content creator, it is that social media, because they're a huge platform and they have to have all that amount of content that people put on the platform. They crop a lot of the videos, and always you're gonna get crop your video, even if you take like my videos are in 5K, but when you go to Instagram it's 1080. That means you don't have to have the best quality videos and everything to do your to record your videos. That way you can start with just an iPhone or just with your phone. But I would suggest go take the videos, take the time, and start to create content for your channel. Talking about that quality on your content, what gear do you use for make your videos?
Uh, I have a ton of gear. I'm a gearhead when it comes to video and photo. I use my iPhone 15 that I for just vlogging and regular stuff, reels, because that's quick and easy. I also have the Sony A7 IV, which is like my hybrid camera where I need to do photography and some vlogging as well. That's a little bit higher quality than my phone, maybe. And then I have the Sony FX30. That's my cinema camera. That's the one I use for B-rolls and the majority of my studio videos and all that stuff that needs to just be like hardcore video. Is I use my FX30 for that. I have the DJI Air 2S. That's for all the aerial shots, the drone shots, all the cool B-rolls for that. I have a GoPro that I use for trails, and also I use it for, when I need to fit a camera somewhere and I can't fit a regular camera or my phone. The GoPro is clutch when it comes to that. I am not liking my GoPro so much. It's very hard to color grade, but I love all the other stuff that I have. I love color grading. I love the making a video look a certain way. So I'm really picky when it comes to how I shoot these videos, and my gear reflects that. And then I have all the extra other stuff like microphones, lavaliers, my gimbal, things like that, and filters, those type of things that just bring out the image a little bit better and gives me smooth footage in my videos. But I don't need all that gear. That's the problem, right? Like if you put me in a forest right now with just one camera or one phone, I will still find a way to do something creative. And I think that's the point. Learn to use what you have. And I don't always bring all of that gear with me when I go on trips. I try to minimize that too, because the less I have, the more it trains me to be creative. In fact, a lot of videographers and photographers, they love to bring every lens that they own. And that's fine for them. But I challenge myself to only bring one or two lenses, and that's it. And whatever shot I want, I better be able to get it with just those two lenses. That is a really good tip on teaching you how to hone in your creativity. By limiting the gear you have, you're able to find better ways of shooting the same scene than if you had all the gear. Plus, having all that gear, then you got to not lose stuff, and you got to make sure you got to put it all together and rig it all up so that I don't need all that. Give me a camera and a location, and I will find a way to make that work, even if I just had one of those things. Now, how do you become sponsored?
Ooh, that is uh, when I become a sponsor, is the true first company that reach out to me and start to offer me their products. And the beginning, I don't believe, because I say why they reach out to me. Is that my first company? Um, uh, right now, I have more than 40 companies that support my channel, and they send us products for free, and we do review videos and everything. But in the beginning, they just reach out to me, and I will say the key was like when I start all the stuff that I have previous on my truck. I have almost everything the same, but maybe a different brands, different products, and I start doing uh, my videos, content video review and everything, even if I'm not a sponsor of the company. And then the companies start to reach out to me because they know, or they see the effort that you are putting in your channel and how you are doing your videos, and they want you to do the same for their products. That's why they contact you, and they're gonna email you, they're gonna send you a message on DM the Instagram. That will I will highly recommend to have any point of contact on your social media channels. And YouTube, try to put your email, and Instagram, try to put your email. Feel free to direct message of the company, because if you start to hide all those personal information, if you want to create, I will recommend to create a different one from your channel. And if you want to have the company to reach out to you, you have to have all the tools for them. That way they can reach out to you to become a sponsor of the companies at this
So
point.
getting sponsors, there's two ways I get sponsors. Either I'm reaching out to them because I'm sure they never heard of me until they've actually seen my stuff, or they are reaching out to me. There's companies that have reached out to me because they've seen my videos and have seen what I've done. Like, for example, Nomadist, who is one of the companies out there that's selling Casey Highlights stuff, and along with other brands, they reached out to me because they've seen the quality in my videos. There are times where I've reached out to a company like Midland. I reached out to them a long time ago. Now we have a really cool relationship, and we do a lot of work together. It's that, and also connections, right? Like you meet one company and they introduce you to someone who works at another company, and you. The best thing is, especially going to like overland shows and expos, because you get to meet some of the owners and some of the content creator or some of their content creator managers there, and you kind of can talk to them and get a feel on, are they looking for someone that that might create content for them, and that's how I get them. But I do say that I try to only reach out to companies that I know is within my grasp, right? Like, there are companies out there who won't work with you unless you've had like millions of views and six figures in subs, and I know where my channel is at currently, and I try to reach out to the companies who are a bit more open to working with smaller companies, because the main thing that these companies look for is quality, right? And that's where I get a lot of my sponsorship, is because I pride myself in creating good quality work. Without that, then I'm nobody. I'm just creating stupid stuff. I want to make sure that when a company works with me, they love the content that I'm producing, because I'm being as creative as I can possibly be in showcasing what they have to sell. And are you really honest in your review videos?
Um, when I receive the product, I try to follow a lot how the specification of the product on the website. I cannot give you a realistic, honest review on is the product will be the best one on their line, because I'm focused on what they are saying on the website. But I also I'm being honest on that time, because I'm doing the unboxing on the video, and you can see on the product how is the quality, how's the material, how well packaged it is, or all the effort that the companies put in their products to make it a nice and great product. And I go straight honest on that. But I will say it's hard to say this is the best one. I try to don't say that, because it's not true. That will be not true if I recommend you a product that I don't test it yet. Yes, I'm being honest on my videos, and when I recommend something, is because or they reach out to me, and always when they reach out to me, if I don't like that product, if I don't trust in that brand, I just say, oh, thank you, I already work with another company. But all the products that you see on my social media channels is because I already approve it, or I already see on my friends. That way I have a honest review on how it look like, or if they're gonna long last.
I try to be honest in all my review videos as best as I can. Again, like I said before, I only work with companies that I've known of, right? But not all. No one's perfect. No product is perfect. Every company has their limitations, or sometimes their quirks, or something that is not good. And when I do an honest review in my videos, companies actually appreciate that more, and they learn from it. Like, okay, he's a content creator. He went out there, and this is the issue he had. We need to fix that in our next version of it. I've had companies who I worked with reach out to me and say, your review is really helpful, because it made us rethink how we're gonna remake this in the next version. So I always try to be honest, but understand too that you're not always going to hear me say a lot of bad things about the company, because, as I said, I choose the companies that I work with, and I already know of their products, and I know that that they're good. Uh, there have been times where I got the product, loved it, the first few months or so, and then later on, it broke, or it does this or that, and it's giving me issues now. So when those things happen, I do always try to give a follow-up video on how I'm using it and how I'm liking it after a certain point. From a content creator view, when you go on your trips, do you like to go solo or with a group?
Um, I love to go solo when I do content creator, even if you have the chance to have more opportunities to be in a group because you have somebody there to help you with the camera, to help you with ideas. But on my point of view, I have a hard time try to create content like this one. I have here Asia here with me, and we met to this 4th of July weekend. And I will say, I like to go solo when I'm gonna focus on a product that I want to be completely focused on that and talk to you guys about how is the product, how is the unboxing and everything. I feel like I have more connection with that. It's not because I'm afraid or I feel shy to talk. I have somebody around me. And my problem is I want to spend the time with my friends. And when I go in a solo trip, I focus on the content creator. When I go on a group trip, I start to don't feel focus on doing my content because I want to have fun. We start to talking about any products and everything. And I will say for a content creator trip, I will say, on my opinion, it's solo.
When it's time for me to create videos and I go on trips to make these videos, I would prefer to go in a group. Like, yeah, if I was by myself, I have all the time in the world. I can do whatever I want. But I like when I'm going with a group because a lot of things can happen there too. Like there are times where we're all goofing around that I can implement into the video. There are moments where I'm being photo bombed in the middle of my review that can be great for bloopers. I'm just having a much better time hanging out. And then on top of that, like when I'm with other content creators, we can do creative stuff. Like this video we're filming right now is all impromptu. We just decided, hey, let's do this video. Why not? Let's collaborate on something because we have that opportunity. We're sitting here and we're together. If I was by myself right now, then I'd be bored. Like, okay, I'm done creating my content. Now what? So I personally, I like going on trips with people. I just think it's just much more fun that way. How do you handle negative comments?
It is, I'm focused on what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and I know a lot of people out there, they are just shoot you with a crappy comments, or they start to being jealous because they want to be you, or they want you to give you a bad opinions. And at some point I've just tried, because social media is a tricky platform, it's a tricky way to handle that. You have to, even if you don't like that comment, you have to reply of that comment, because that way you get traffic on your platform, on the algorithm, even of YouTube or Instagram. When you have that traffic on your account, you're gonna get more exposure on the website or on the Instagram. And then I will say all the comments have to be replying, even if it's negative. How I handle, I try to look what is the best point of view for that comment. I try to avoid it, and I try to just reply. Even if somebody have a really, really, really bad negative comment, I just say, I go straight, hey, thank you for help my algorithm. Do you have anything else to say? And I go back and forward. And at some point, I'm playing with that person. That way I receive a lot of push on my algorithm. But sometimes it's hard. But I try to do my best to don't get affected for those negative comments, because I know that really true followers on my community, they are the one they wish me the best on what I do.
I actually like your answers, Carlos.
I would say I pretty like yours too.
Are we done?
I think so.
Good, because it's hot. Dude, you forgot to ask me the question again, man. The one question.
How do you handle negative comments?
Yeah, that. Easy. Fuck 'em. So, how about if we do you think we should do the video like this? He talks Spanish, right? And I go, "Oh yeah, we get Oscar." I talk Chinese. Today, we talk about content creator. Like, should I do that? No. And then he talks Spanish, and then no one understands us. Let me know when you're ready.
The thing is, I don't know what I'm going to say, but let's do it. And this is the last question. You will do OnlyFans channel to start to do naked videos for your product reviews?
Yes, it's me eating food with chopsticks, and it doesn't matter what food it is, it's always going to be with chopsticks. Let's see how that does, and it's going to be close up.
Enough. That's it. Too much. Too much. Thank you.